Yeah, he said it.
First time, yeah, yeah. I haven't really gotten to the uh, to the wrestling. I've been trying to, but
Look,
um,
look, 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 I saw him. What's her name?
nah, not this.
Jade. This chick Jade. I mean, I know she's married and stuff, but yo, she was wow, wow. I saw her, and then she had a great personality. She was on the Michael K show, so
Mm,
when she was just like drawing it in, I was just like, damn. All right,
yeah.
all right. I see you. I feel you.
No doubt, no doubt. Want to welcome to the show my brother, my main man, my bro, Mr. E, the chosen one. What's good with you, E? How you
Yo,
feeling today?
first of all, man, happy Sunday to everybody. Blessings to everybody's family, man. You know the brothers on the panel. Mike Geisers, what's going on? I'm here to just basically chop it up. Y'all know how I do. Try to bring stats and facts with all of that. And that's about it. Coach, let me tell you this real quick, brother. I
Mm-hmm.
have just given you a cyber hug and pat on the back, and I'm talking to you on a low tone of voice where nobody can hear me, but I guess everybody gonna hear me. We're gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hurt at the fact that injuries actually handicapped us because
Mm-hmm.
man, oh man, what I would have loved to seen with Mitch, OG, Randall, Brunson, and these guys who have gotten so much playing time off the
Mm-hmm.
bench where they are not afraid of anybody to be led and to have the best bench in basketball sub in at this point in time when it comes to playing time. It hurts that this is the effects, man.
Yeah, bro. Can't you could you
Knock
said
it
it
off.
best.
Knock it off with the basketball, y'all. Yeah.
You always
You
say
see
that
how
because it's no
Right
net.
the show
you
with
how
the
You
Knicks.
like
Coach
no
it
You
is?
see
net.
how these Knicks
Okay,
fans are,
you
man.
got it. You got it, bro. I can't
Look,
argue
look,
with
look,
you
look,
on
look,
your show.
look,
We'll
look,
talk
look.
another time.
No, 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 no. Because sometimes the heart of the city, when all the Nets guys get in there, and I'm the only Knicks one. So now he getting a little taste of what, what I go through, right, right, bro. When y'all had Durant and all them, come on, man, come on. It goes both ways. That's the heart of the city,
Fair. It's
crew.
fair. It's fair, man. But
Nah,
let's
but nah,
let's get
that's
into
it's
let's get into the
football.
Giants, man. Let's get into the Giants. That's what we're here for, man. We'll save the smoke for Tuesday, when it comes for the basketball. But kind of freestyle this show. To be honest with you, only got a few topics I want to touch on, but the first one is going to be um about Shane and Brian Dayboot. Now, uh, well, matter of fact, let's get into the draft conversation since Kev did put that um up about Deontay Miller. And my question is, they are looking for running backs. I know they had Trey Benson in. I think they said rumors was they interested in Trey Benson. So what round? Where should the Giants? What is the sweet spot for them to get a running back? I know people saying third round. To me, I think it's a little bit early. Um, but in you guys' opinion, what is the sweet spot for a running back, and who should we be targeting? Who should we be targeting to bring it to this running back room? Because I know you put it in the chat. The guy they signed probably more of a special teamer, and that's what I kind of felt like too. So I don't think he's going to be any main contributor or anything like that. But I do think we need a bigger back pause that can help us on short down situations. So many times this Giants team last year failed to pick up third and short, fourth and one, first and goal, different things like that. And it's not Barkley's fault. I'm not pointing the finger at him. We're not going there again. And it's part of the O line's fault. I do understand that, but there is something to be said for having a Brandon Jacobs back there, and Ahmad Bradshaw back there. Somebody's going to get those tough yards when you need it. You know what I'm saying? And not do all of the dancing and trying to break the big play every time. So, with that being laid out like that, I'm gonna turn it over to Coach and E. What are your thoughts on what the Giants should do at running back as far as in this draft here, and who you think they should be targeting, or who could they target, and in what round?
Well, if it's me, I'm looking the fourth round or later. Yeah, I'm looking at big backs in terms of like Braylon Allen and
I like it.
Audrey Estime from Notre Dame. You could definitely get them. If you really want a late gem, Isaiah Davis, the kid from South Dakota State. I know he's played at the FCS level, but he's a tough in between the tackle type of running back. His decent speed, good maneuverability, good vision. It's just that most people don't know him because he played at the FCS level. So, um, you know, if you want to take a shot, because they seem to be going for speed backs, if you want to take a shot for the kid from Oregon, what's his name?
Bucky Irvin.
Bucky Irvins, yeah. I mean, he probably fits their mold because they want those kind of quicker backs, more elusive. If you really do the history and you think about him, you might use Singletary in between the tackles, but when they were up in Buffalo, they really didn't have a bell cow per se. They rotated it. So you're probably going to need a little bit of everything in terms of a back, and then you use like your H back as your full back, and on occasion help in the blocking scheme, so your back can still get into the backfield. So but that's how I would attack it. As far as Benson, I know some people have talked about even in the first round. I'm not too big on him per se.
Yeah,
and I'm only saying this because of Shane and Dable, how they view the running back. And I don't think they'll do their due diligence. And if somebody blows them away, then so be it. But I think realistically, they don't want an every down back. They want the type of running backs that are interchangeable and they can rotate guys. So, that's my thoughts. Go ahead, E. You got it. What's up, Kev?
Kev, what's good, man? Welcome to the show, brother. Appreciate you.
Appreciate y'all for having me. It was good. How y'all doing?
We good, brother.
Man, yeah. On this Sunday morning, but E, go ahead and give your thoughts, and then we'll go over to Kev.
Well, the best part about this draft, right, and I think every Giants fan can be happy about what I'm about to say, is we're not hindered by choosing a running back. It's not the end all be all either in our situation. So we have a chance to choose a back of our actual liking, for what we're trying to do for our scheme. Because one, we definitely got the offensive line, at least 4 people on the line now, where we can implement a scheme. Now, depending on the scheme that we implement is the type of back that we want. So the Giants are actually in a great situation where they get to choose a guy like maybe Marshawn Lloyd, Bucky Irvin, Blake Corum, Audric Estime from Notre Dame, Braylon Allen possibly if he's not taken. There's a plethora of backs that we can take. We just have to know what scheme we're running. And from what I've seen from, I think his name is Brasilio. Did I get that right?
Yeah, Carmen.
Right? Right. He likes to run a power zone scheme. That's what made Josh Jacobs so successful. That's what allowed Darren Waller to chip and get out on wheel and seam routes. And that's the type of offense I think we're going to run. So if we're going to run that type of offense, a guy like Blake Corum, a guy like Audric Estime, if we want the quicker, shiftier back like a Bucky Irvin, who we can create holes, pull our guards, things like that, we're going to be able to have whatever we want. It depends on who we feel fits our offensive line system. So I'm looking 4th round latest. If they want to take a chance on the 3rd round, so be it. But that's about it. 3rd or 4th round.
You would take a running back in the 3rd?
It depends on what we got going on in the draft. Now if they feel that they're good on that line, I mean, think about it, gentlemen. Think about the starting lineup this season at the offensive line, on the offensive line. We got Andrew Thomas, we got John Runyon Jr., John Michael Smits, and Jermaine Illuminor. The only question mark on our line is our actual high draft pick from 2 years ago.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Actual high draft
Good
pick.
point.
That's
Good
pretty cool.
point.
That right there to me should be our biggest worry. What are we gonna do with Evan Neal? Because is he gonna be what we thought he's gonna be? Is he gonna come back worse than he did last year? Like I think our main purpose should be trying to fix that problem. I think maybe running back in the fourth round, maybe in the fifth.
Hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Fourth or fifth round for me personally, because I just and like Coach kind of said it, and you too. I just don't think they put that much of an emphasis on the running back position. And so if you're drafting a running back, you're not gonna spend. Look, day one, day two are premium picks. First, second, third round. Those are the premium picks. So if you're not feeling like the running back is a so-called premium position, I don't feel like you need to take one in the first, second, or third round because you're not. You're kind of wasting that pick because it's not going to be as important to your offense as say a receiver or another guard or something like that. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you another sleeper, and I don't know if you guys
What's up,
paid
Coach
any
Dave?
attention
I
to him.
don't want to be rude. I see you down there, brother. Appreciate you joining the show. Go ahead,
So,
E.
No, it's a guy from Tennessee that nobody talks about named Jalen Wright. If you guys have never seen him play or check his tape, yo, the kid is explosive, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he's number one in explosive runs from 10 plus yards. He got 28% percentage on getting third downs when he's called upon. He's really, really one of them players that, yeah, man, that is a sleeper at running back, man. So get a chance, man. Check out Jalen Wright from Tennessee.
Jalen Wright. Okay. All right.
Mhm.
The thing with Jalen Wright is, would he make it to that late in the draft? That's my only question because he's pretty talented.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but he's not really heralded. So a guy that's talented but not heralded, they lose position in the draft only because they're not household names. But that's a great point, bro.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But appreciate you coming through, Nimar. But Coach Dave, man, we'll pass it over to you. What's your thoughts on the running back position, and do you think the Giants should take one, and in what round?
I'm with you. I like there's certain backs that I definitely like in the draft. First of all, happy Sunday to everybody. Coach Ed, E, homie, I never met you before, but happy Sunday to you, and it's a pleasure to be here
Peace
with
to you,
everybody.
King.
See that everybody's healthy and all of that. But I'm like you, bro. I don't think they really value the position enough to go high on it. So I like Bucky Irvin. I like the kid out of Notre Dame. I like the kid out of Tennessee, but the way that they move, they don't value the position enough. So no earlier than the fourth round, I would say. Honestly, especially with the holes that we have in the team, and that's quality draft picks right there. So let's not even fuck around with it if you're not gonna really value it. You feel me?
Yeah. Nah, I totally
Can I
agree.
ask you a question, Coach Dave?
Sure.
In this league that we in now, that everybody wants to think of high-powered offenses, look what got everybody through the playoffs last year. You think that will hinder us down the stretch when it comes to games that we're vying for playoff position, that we don't value the running back position in?
So that's a I can answer that in two ways. One, I don't think down the stretch this year we'll be vying for playoff position, so I don't think it'll matter much. I think we're in a true rebuild, and I feel like they're approaching it as such. But in the future, yes, I think they need to do better than what they did in Buffalo in terms of the running game and how they address it. It needs to be a priority for sure.
Yeah, man. Good thoughts, man. Good thoughts, man. So now we kind of talked about it. Coach Dave kind of led into my next topic, man. And you guys can, throw other ideas out there if you want to. Like I said, it's more of a freestyle show today. Not gonna be here too long, but now with all the moves the Giants have made, we got 6 picks now in the draft. Got 6 picks in the draft, so they're gonna add talent obviously in the draft. You still got the back end of free agency, and shout out to them for bringing back Isaiah Simmons. Y'all want to chop it up on that real quick before I get into this next topic? Because I think that was a sneaky good move that not a lot of people, with Giants fans obviously, but not a lot of people are really looking at it.
You know what?
In that,
Not to
manner.
cut you off, but you know what was funny to me about that them bringing him back? The pushback that it got from some fans. I didn't understand it. I'm like, why? Like, it's not even like he's making big money. This dude is getting $1.5 million, and you need people on the roster. So what are we tripping about?
I just think that New York fans are never grateful. Not all, right? Not all, but I would say majority of the fan base, they always have issues with like stuff like that, and to me, it's meaningless. I think the kid. I'm excited because I remember when he was talked about and the Giants were going to draft him and Arizona drafted him.
Yeah, I remember that too. The Giants fans wanted him.
Yes, Giants fans were excited. They were hyped. They wanted this kid so bad. I remember because I was one of those Giants fans. So when I found out we traded for him, I was hyped, and I kept saying to myself, they haven't signed him, but I know they're gonna bring him back because they didn't trade for him for no reason. It's obviously the kid is talented. The kid has talent. You can put him all over the field. That's the thing. A lot of these fans, I don't know if they watched enough of his film, but the kid can play. He just needed the coaching. I don't think Arizona had that. I think we had that. I think we have that now, and I think you're gonna see a big difference this year, especially when we traded for Brian, what's his name from Carolina,
Brian Burns. Yeah.
I think that's you're gonna see a different kind of player now. So I'm excited they brought him back, especially at the deal they gave.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on on Isaiah Simmons coming back?
I think that it was the smartest move that they could have done, especially the way that people like Azeez Ojulari get injured, and he is a perfect replacement on that line, coming around that edge. He cannot be blocked by any one offensive lineman. He's too quick. He's too fast coming around the edge. If you look at the way he was utilized last year, and he's also possibly the biggest, best free safety that we may have that could help us with run support down in the box. Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau and Dexter Lawrence, along with Bobby Okereke, are going to command so much attention when it comes to that front seven that he's going to be one-on-one with free releases in the A and B gaps. This dude is what you call a weapon on defense. If you get him in the right position, in the right packages, on the right downs, he will help your defense tremendously. And I think I think our DC knows what's going on with this kid. So we're about to see him have probably a better season than last season.
Word.
And that's one thing you said too, E, was like you can, and you said it too, Kev, you can use him in different spots. So he can be a backup safety, he can be a backup edge player, he can be a backup linebacker. So you have a guy that if somebody goes down, you can slide him in multiple different spots. You see what I'm saying? That's important to have a guy with that kind of versatility and not have a drop off in any position that he comes in on the field. You're not going to have no drop off. He's going to be able to perform.
And NYG, just really quick, and I'm out the way. He can guard tight ends. There's no tight end coming over that middle that he has to recover for. He can mirror and go up the field with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think even when he played in Clemson, at times he even played corner, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah. I think you're right. Yeah.
And they had him at free safety. They had him drop back at free safety, and
Yeah, the kid is versatile, man. Like he could play all over the field. You could use him at any time. Like he can get at the quarterback, stop the run. Like the kid has talent, man. Like,
and just to say this to you, Kev, real quick, look at the tight end numbers against us last season.
I'm gonna check that out. Check that out.
Yeah, because you know the Giants have always been known for getting
Susceptible.
beat
Come
by
on, NY.
tight ends,
Yeah.
bro. You know what I'm saying? How many
And
times
last year
slow
we didn't
ass
complain
Dallas
about that.
Clark used to eat us up, and then
Mm-hmm.
goddamn Witten, his slow ass. You know what I'm saying? Always getting open. And then you got the Eagles having Ertz and Goddard over there for as long as they did, man. Like it's about time. It's about time we shut that shit down. You know what I'm saying? And Simmons, I think, is the perfect candidate to help do that. Shout out to YTC Productions, man. Since our front seven, we just need a number 2 corner. I hope Simmons has more increased playing time at the safety position or rotation or middle linebacker that we can plug him in. Yep. That's everything we've been talking about, man. I think he's going to serve multiple. But coach, man, come at it from an X's and O's standpoint, man. What's your thoughts on them bringing back Simmons?
First of all, I'm sitting here watching Jalen Wright. So I see some abilities. They really haven't used them in the run game as much, more in the pass game. But one of the things that I just wanted to highlight, the kid can block. It may not sound like a lot to the average fan, but this kid has stuck his nose in there with some big defensive linemen too. Not just linebackers, defensive linemen. But getting back to Simmons, everything that you guys have been speaking of positively is also his downfall, his versatility. No one has figured out a position for him or how to maximize his versatility. It's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that. We brought him back on the cheap, but he's extremely, extremely talented.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is he getting the
proper?
proper?
Mac, appreciate you coming through.
Is he getting the proper coaching in the NFL? Or is it just that he's really just not taking advantage of his abilities and he's lacking at times?
Who was the Arizona DCs when he was over there?
Oh man,
Was it whatchamacallit who came here that one year?
yes, there you go. Yes,
Oh,
yes, that guy.
Heavyset bald head white guy. I forgot his name.
Oh, Betcha.
Yes,
Yeah.
Betcher.
Thatcher. There you go.
And we saw what that was about.
There's your problem. Yeah.
We saw what that was about.
Yeah, Betcher, and then
Giving up 3rd and 33s.
the last few years before he came here was their current DC, if I'm not mistaken. So that's my concern with him. Well, first of all, it's not a concern because you brought him back on the cheap, so it's a low risk, high reward type of a situation. If he does well, then you could sign him for a longer contract. It's only 1 year, but if not, then you can let him go. You know, we've seen him we'll have seen him for 2 years. Yes, 2 different systems, but that should be enough. You're a veteran in the NFL. You should be able to adapt to, what's happening. So
Man,
right now,
James Butcher.
right now, I know that when they sent out the signing, they said safety. So if that's where he's going to be at, okay, fine. That also lets me know that they're probably not going to draft a safety, in the 2nd or 3rd round. You might get a safety late in the draft. So, but that's how I'm looking at it. I mean, plus if he's playing safety at that size, that might be a good thing because he can at least play half the field if need be. He can cover with range. He's big bodied, so he's going to be able to interfere and contest those high point balls. So that's something. And as he alluded to,
with you, brother. Appreciate you coming through.
As he alluded to, his ability to take away the tight end. So I definitely got to do some more research on this kid, on Jalen Wright.
One addition to what you're saying, Coach. He's also going to be able to spy quarterbacks for us if he's down in the box.
Mm-hmm. And
that's big with our division. You know what I'm saying? Because all signs are the Commandos. They're going to draft the quarterback, and then you got Jalen Hurts who likes to run around. Not so much Dak, but he'll sneak out the pocket every once in a while, but that's a big thing, man, that you said that. Spying quarterbacks, yep. And one other thing too, shout out to YTC Productions. He said given how Bowen has his defense that was top 10 against the run. Yeah, man, let's stop. Can we start stopping the run a little bit here? With the offensive lines that we got to compete against in our division, I'm tired of getting ran on, pause, by some of these teams. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's got to stop. It's nothing makes me more mad in football than to see a team just bully you and just run the football all over you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we took a hit when we lost Leo, obviously, but it's not just all on the DT. These linebackers are going to play a huge role in helping stop the run in our division. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where we have to start. And once we do that, we can force these, in my opinion, unpopular as it is, mediocre quarterbacks like Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts to beat you throwing the football, which I don't think either one of them are going to be able to do, as history has told us. So,
I think the big issue with that was we didn't have someone on the other side that can get at the quarterback like the guy we got now.
Exactly.
I think that's going to be a big difference this year.
Mm-hmm.
If God and health obviously. If our line, which I think pretty much last year our line was pretty healthy. So, but if all goes well, I think we should be fine this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think we might see more sacks this year as well, because
I think so too. Yeah.
I think Thibodeau picked it up towards the end of the season, and now that we got Brian on the other side, you might see a lot more of that.
Mm-hmm. Thibodeau, Ojulari,
right,
and even Simmons, all should see their production go up, because remember, in Wink's system, he blitzed a lot of his corners and safeties, and they were getting some of those sacks that in a when you rushing forward, those are going to the D lines. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference, and I think we're going to get more sacks, maybe have less turnovers. I think we'll get more interceptions, just because of the coverage, especially if we can get pressure with 4. So, but yeah, get to a couple comments here. YTC says, still has development of safety like Javarius Owens, man, a forgot about player that was drafted last year. I agree. We talked about this last Sunday. We got to start giving our drafted players an opportunity to develop and not just keep, always improve your team. But let's not just say, oh, we need X position, because we do have guys on the roster at those positions. They just haven't shown it yet, or haven't had an opportunity to show it yet on the field due to people being ahead of them. Now, when you got guys leaving like Barkley, like McKinney, that's going to open up opportunities for Javarius Owens, for guys like Eric Gray. So we will this year, hopefully, see these guys play and see if they can take a step, man, and help, if nothing else, add some depth to this team. You know what I mean? Even if they're not, bona fide all-stars, like a lot of Giants fans want every player on this team has to be an all-star, has to have some type of accolade or something like that. You know what I mean? And that's just not reality in the NFL. You're going to have weaknesses on every single team at multiple positions. It's just about how well you can hide that. See, that's the key. You know what I'm saying? The Eagles, for instance, they can hide their weak secondary because they have such a dominant line. You know what I'm saying? You can hide a quarterback when you can run the ball, when you have a good offensive line. So a lot of what Giants fans want, we have to see if our lines can get to the point where we don't have to stress over certain positions on this team. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it's all about in the NFL. But Brian Burns, they can't double Tiz no more. McFadden is definitely going to play Roll.
I was waiting patiently to talk about that.
Yeah. Micah McFadden. He's another guy, 4th round pick. You know, that after the first year, people were like, "Oh, we need a linebacker. He's no good." Am I right or wrong, y'all? Let's keep it a buck, man. Let's keep
Yeah,
it a
we're
buck.
gonna keep it a buck. I was
know what
ready
I'm
to get
saying?
him up out of here, and I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons why and why. I was
Yeah.
ready to put him on that New Jersey Transit to Middletown, and his partner Jalen Smith would have been in the first seat in front of him. I would have straight made the conductor walk through and been like, "Yo, tickets, please." Oh, you ain't got one? You know what's up. At the next stop, you escorted out of here. I wanted him escorted off the field.
Yeah.
But guess what? With
And
new
the guy
information,
everybody raved about,
right.
Darian Beavers, ain't nowhere to be found. Y'all seen him? Where he at?
Don't forget, Beavers is still coming.
Julius Randle. I'm still looking for him.
Look. Beavers is
man.
coming off of that knee injury, man. So you can say what you want. We all know usually ACLs take a player about 2 years to get reacclimated.
Nah, I ain't hating on the kid. I'm just saying how it's funny how the linebacker everybody celebrated and was and talked about is not the guy that stepped up. It's the guy that everybody wanted.
But what did I say? What did I say? I said when he was at Indiana, every year his production increased. It improved. And that's what you're seeing here from Micah McFadden. He's an extremely smart football player. He understands the game. He understands where he needs to be. Does he need to work on his tackling a lot more? Yeah, or a little bit more? Yes.
Yeah, I need him and Jason Pinnock to get in tackling school immediately.
But listen, they both improved a lot last year. Jason Pinnock and Micah McFadden.
Absolutely.
Both of them. I was proud of their development, especially McFadden, because I was up on him. I know the first year he was down, but I think that was a coaching thing. But now you're starting to see a different side of him, and I think that has to. I think Bobby Okereke is his name.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has a lot to do with it. Having him by his side, I think that has a lot to do with it, and I think that's why you're seeing a different side of McFadden last year.
Yeah.
Also,
no doubt.
iron sharpens iron, right? When you got a guy as talented as Okereke and you working out and y'all practicing and you getting to know certain little nuances of the game that Jalen Smith wasn't instinctual about, it's a different situation. A different teacher brings about a different result. You could have a C student in one class, but then he gets with a different type of sensei and the kid becomes B+, A-. Not because he didn't have the skill set, but because you didn't know exactly how to teach him to bring it out. Some people are visual learners. Some people are OJT. I just think McFadden is an OJT guy. And when you get with a lunch pail guy like Okereke, it helps get you where you need to be at.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Cool. So we're gonna move it along here. All that being said, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, everything we've done in free agency and the draft, or the draft coming up, are we close to competing? Let's just talk about our division for once. Because the easiest path
you starting from Friday, bro,
to get into the playoffs is for to win our division. So let's start in the division. Have the Giants, are they close now? Do you as a Giants fan feel that this team can compete in 2024 with the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles? Let's just take for a minute the current roster and try to project forward what we could add in the draft, and then think about it from that standpoint, because everybody's gonna say, well, we need to see the final roster. I get it, but look, it's April and we ain't got shit else to talk about. So bear with me, folks. This is the off season. So, but what's your thoughts on just tell me how y'all feel about the team? just in general, all the moves that was made and everything. And this is going to lead into my next topic. So, but Coach, what's your thoughts, man? Do you think the gap is closed between the Eagles and Cowboys with this Giants team?
Can we compete? Yes, we can compete.
Okay.
All right. Do you see the keyword is compete?
I put it in there for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah. So can we compete? Yes. You saw what we did last year. No matter what you want to say, we did compete with the Eagles. So if they're the cream of the crop, now the Cowboys, I think we have closed the gap on them. They've gone through so many things. They let certain guys go that's going to come back to hurt them. So to compete, yes. I think we have the possibility to be able to compete. It's just closing the door on the win column. Ultimately, that's what it boils down to. It's about winning. And are we ready to beat these teams? That's left.
Let me ask you a question. Do you feel as though if the Giants can have a winning record? Because somebody, if y'all want to look this up, help me out. When is the last time the Giants had a winning record in the division? When is the last time?
2016.
2016. You sure it was a winning record in the division?
Yeah, we beat the Cowboys twice that year, remember?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Is it a winning record or 500 or better?
No, winning record, because we were 500 last year.
Okay, just want to make sure.
We went 11-5 that season.
We went 11, but what were we in the division?
What was the record in the division? That's what I need to know.
It's not the winning record. He's talking about the division.
I know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if we were 11-5, what were we in the? If we beat the Cowboys twice that year,
then we would have had to split with the Commanders and Eagles, or either sweep the Cowboys and the Commanders, because I know we ain't sweep the Eagles. I know that for a fact. Yeah, it's just something to think about. It's just something to think about, because that is the best path to your division. And I would like to see the Giants build a team that has a chance to compete with them. Now, we've seen it last year with the Eagles. The gap, I think, between the Giants and Cowboys, I don't think it's greater. I just think the Cowboys have been out coaching us for some years now. And I don't know if they got some type of insight or spy in the Giants organization, but they always seem to know what we're doing. So it's either they got better coaches than we do, or out coaching us, or there's some funny shit going on. You know what I mean?
I'll say this to you, NY. Hands down, as I said to you on Friday, brother, and thank you for blessing the panel as well. I didn't get a chance to say that to you.
Anytime.
We definitely, hands down, have the best defense in the NFC East. No questions about it. So with that being said, that already gives us a reason and ability to compete, because teams will not score on us. Remember, football is a game of more or less. Whoever scores more points wins. If you score less points, you lose. The defense job is to keep you to a certain amount of points so the offense can get you where you need to go. The biggest question mark is our offense. We don't have a question mark on this defense. To me, the defense improved from last season. We may have lost an all-pro safety in a lot of people's eyes, but we inherited an all-pro defensive edge. Now that right there, in exchange for itself, one already has a higher value. Brian Burns' value will be higher than Xavier McKinney's for what we're trying to do. So we got better on defense. And look what we did last season.
That's good. I agree with you. I think we did get better on defense. And I don't think the positions of concern are as concerning as people think, which is safety, because I do have faith in Dane Belton. And corner, man, I honestly think that, look, we drafted Trey Hawkins in the 6th round last year. A 6th round pick is not going to pick 9 times out of 10, unless you're just very special. You're not going to pick up the entire NFL game in a year. You know what I'm saying? But the kid has it. We talked about him last week. The kid has the size, speed, and athletic ability to be a number 2 cover corner. He just has to get the, the technical aspect of playing corner in NFL. You know what I'm saying? I think he has the talent. You know what I'm saying? And I think whoever they get, Jerome Henderson will make sure our number 2 corner don't look crazy out there. I think at bare minimum, especially if you're getting pressure, you know what I'm saying? Like we expect to get pressure with our defensive line now. So not worried about corner, not too worried about safety. They took care of linebacker, bringing back Simmons. So, maybe another pass rusher, maybe another defensive tackle. You know what I'm saying? We talked about Javarius Owens at safety. That's another guy you could plug in there. So I feel pretty good, like you said, E, with this defense. The question is, can we score some points?
And I think that right there, at times our offense was so bad that our defense kept getting killed last year. So I think in order for us to really compete with these top teams, we have to see what the Giants do.
Mm-hmm.
We have to see how they upgrade the offense, because if they don't upgrade the offense, we're just gonna have another year like last year all over again.
Rinse and repeat.
So I think that's what I was gonna say. But yo, I appreciate y'all for having me. My battery's about to die. Y'all have a great Sunday.
Anytime, man. Go check out Kev, man. With Nixon Ish, the podcast, man. Tell them where they can find you at, Kev, for you dip.
You can find us on all platforms: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. We on all that stuff, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother. Have a good day.
Salute, King.
Shout out to Kev, man. If you a Knicks fan, you know what I'm saying, definitely go check them out, man. Awesome content over there, man. I'm not a Knicks fan, and I'll go check them out, you know what I'm saying, just because they do great work. But back to my point, man. So what's y'all feeling about this division, man? Shout out to the chat. I see you, Jacob. Appreciate you, Ronnie. How you doing, Miss Ronnie Rivers? Appreciate you. Hope
I want my chicken. I don't have nothing to say to her until I get my chicken.
Yeah. Tudo, what's good with you? What's good, man? Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you stopping through, man. Hope all is well with you and your team, man. Definitely, man. Shout out to you. And appreciate your support as always, my brother, man. We're gonna have to meet up one day, Tudo, man. One day, bro. One day I get to meet you, man. We talked about the Simmons signing, Jacob. Most of us on the panel agree that it is a good move for the Giants, a low risk, high reward type of move, in my opinion. Ronnie says, I would say didn't pull up to our potential last year. We get in a funk when playing the Cowboys. Yeah, we do. I don't know what it is. With Dallas, but that seems to be how it usually goes. And the NFL never does us any favors because they always give us that game in the early part of the season where, we always seem to be trying to figure it out. Like, I need the Giants to start getting off to, because it seems like when we get off to a good start in the season, 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 4-2, something like that, we usually have a pretty good season. It's these slow starts that kill us. You can't get off the gates 2-5, 1-6, and expect to be a playoff team. So, the NFL hasn't done the Giants any favors, giving them the Cowboys damn near every single year with the first game of the season. And it always seems to send us into a type of spiral. You know what I'm saying? Because we go in there and get our teeth kicked in 9 times out of 10. So this is where it's got to stop, man. And it's got to start in this division. We got to start beating Dallas and Philly and we're not worried about the other team, but Dallas and Philly consistently.
But you know what it is, NY? If we think of the history, right, of the last 10 years of playing Philly and Dallas, what has always been our problem? They always have one player that single-handedly puts them over the top that we lose to. I'll just give a quick name. A guy like Boston Scott, right? How is it that he doesn't have any productivity against any other team in Jesus' name? But as soon as he steps on,
E, did we lose him?
I think we did for a second.
Think we lost E, man.
Might be in the Matrix, yeah.
Yeah, but he'll be back, man. But he's right. Look, it's always these Boston Scots. You know, these little players that come out of nowhere on these teams and always seem to do the most damage against the New York Giants. You know, we talked about the tight end. You know, now Jason Witten's a great tight end, but at the same time, I bet 75% of his passing yards, receiving yards, was against the Giants.
yo,
Feel like, yeah, you back.
Yeah,
You back.
okay.
You was going in though with Boston Scott and them. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that if we think of the history of the last 10 years, we've always lost to offensive players that have put other teams over the top against us. The Jason Wittens, the Dallas Goederts, the Boston Scotts, you know what I'm saying? We've always lost against one guy. One guy has always beat us. And if as of late, look at what CeeDee Lamb has done to us single-handedly.
Oh my God.
It's one guy.
It is, man. It is. Shout out to Man Cave. What's good with you, bro, man? Welcome to the show, man. Appreciate you stopping by.
What's good? What's good, fellas?
Cave,
man?
what's up, baby? Salute to you, man.
What's good, E? What's good, Coach?
Ain't nothing, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been listening to y'all, man. Listening and talking about this. Part of the reason why our division, we've been getting our teeth kicked in the last 10 years is because of the trenches, bro. That's about it. It starts from the trenches. Our trenches has been weak. When our trenches were strong, we was the one that was, taking over the division. You know what I'm saying? We was the bullies. You know what I'm saying? So we just gotta get back to that, and I think that's what he's trying to do right now. Get back to getting them trenches up. You know what I'm saying?
NFL Reality Check. What's good with you, man? Thanks for stopping by.
Salute, Reality.
All right. Ronnie says,
What's up?
how to get the defense off the field. Yeah, we have to start scoring some points here.
Extending drives, right? Extending drives.
and consistently. You know what I'm saying? Like consistently. So we talked about the offensive line, but what is going to get us there? Is it the receiver or is it the quarterback? That's what we're trying to figure out now. What is going to get us to at least a baseline of scoring, and we can't be 32nd. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
You can't be last or next to last or bottom fifth or third in the NFL every single year in scoring. You got to start scoring some points.
I think with us is like we just got to get to the point of like the offense has got to get better, because you can get by with a so-so defense, but if your offense is scoring and stuff, like, you're gonna win some games. But if your offense is dead and your defense is good, you ain't gonna win a lot of games. So you're gonna be close to the games, but you can't make plays to get you over that hump. So I think we just got to concentrate getting that offense a lot better. The defense is good the way it is right now. I mean, we could get some more help on it, but the offense is the one that's broken, that we really got to concentrate on getting more weapons, and also the offensive line. If you get good offensive line play, get some guys that can control that line, and you know what I'm saying, a lot of good things is going to happen. Then you don't have to have you don't need as many people blocking on the line, like a tight end helping out or something like that. Now they could go out and get passes. You know what I'm saying? If you got a great offensive line.
Cave, I got a question for you.
It's good.
Salute,
With
deception.
the
Appreciate
new
you coming through.
offensive line that we have, because if you look at it, right, we can say it's revamped.
Right.
When you have 4 guys now, solid and some quality depth, with which we do have, because a lot of people don't realize we signed 6 offensive linemen this
Yeah,
season.
I've seen. I've been seeing that. Yeah.
Ain't playing no
So,
games.
right, we signed
Right.
6 offensive linemen, and 2 are absolute starters.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, with the newly revamped offensive line, what do you think is going to predicate to more? Helping the quarterback out or allowing us to develop time so the ball can get downfield?
I think it'll be both, because when you look at it, I mean, we're gonna need that because Daniel Jones is gonna be playing this year. He's coming off that injury, so he's gonna need all the protection he can. You know what I'm saying? Or if not, he's gonna be re-injured and he's gonna be done for for the season. So that offensive line helped out greatly, because now with that you can do play action, a lot of play action and stuff like that. If you got the receivers that's fast that can get down, like Jalen Hyde, these other people. So, yeah, I think it's that offensive line, man, is the most important. It's going to help out the quarterback and the receivers, because we got some receivers with speed, you know what I'm saying, but Slayton and Hyatt. And once they get out there, that opens up the middle. And then Waller depends on how he's going to – if he's not going to retire, he's going to play, he should be hitting them seams right up the middle right there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. So, and shout out to Tudo, man. Appreciate you, man. Says he's here in Princeton. Jersey mate. Yesterday was his second son's B-day, man. Happy born to your son, man. Says watching the English soccer match with my brother Wells earlier. My son's about to go to church now, okay, and hit the irons in the gym. All right, man. You got your day planned out, man. But I definitely appreciate you stopping in, checking in with me, Coach E, Man Cave, and Kev and Coach Dave was on earlier. So most definitely, man. But yeah,
Blessings upon blessings, brother.
absolutely. But I think we can compete with the Eagles and Cowboys, because I think what happens in these Cowboys games is they get a lead and the Cowboys are a front running team. They're going to feed off the energy once they get a lead and they start getting the crowd involved, or take your crowd out of it. You know what I'm saying? And they feed off that. You know what I'm saying? So I think the key, obviously, to doing that is our defense getting better and being able to shut them down. Somebody, I think it was YTC, put in the chat, the yak yards that they get on us definitely hurts us. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how they get these easy completions, and then they're able to just go up and down the field on you. You know, it seems like the C parts, in our defense. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully this can make them work a little bit, and if they can work a little bit harder on offense, then hopefully it would give our defense a little bit of a rest if we can start scoring some points. You know what I'm saying?
And why, to your point, and Man Cave, and I know Coach is doing, his research and analyticals, because we can see he hasn't even looked into the camera one time. Because I know it. Yeah. I know that face. I know I'm that all the time, so I know exactly what he's doing. But I'm gonna say this to you guys, and you guys, tell me how you feel about it. Schematics has always played a role in what we have done or not have done in the last 10 years, which we've gotten 4 coaches, right? I believe scheme plays a big role on offense. I don't think the Giants have ever identified an offensive scheme that actually would be implemented either during the game, making in-game adjustments, and taking over games at times where we actually pick on a guy. Now, when you guys think about what I'm saying is, I'll use Darnay Holmes. You remember the game versus the Cowboys? CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, right? Games like that. I need to know, when is the last time you guys, because I definitely remember, when is the last time we picked on a guy? A receiver was hot. He was our go-to. We schemed it up where Plaxico.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how far you going back?
That's
how far you going back? Is Plaxico? Okay.
OBJ.
But our schematics are something that is not complicated. We're able to call plays from our living room.
I was about to
on the
say that.
couch.
Yeah.
So come on now. So if we're able to be like, as soon as we see a formation, we know where the ball is going to go. If these dudes eat, sleep, and breathe defensive thought processes, what do you think they missing at night when they turn on film and go, okay, fellas, as soon as you see Daniel Jones do this right here, he's going to give the ball to him right here. As soon as you see this formation right here, he's going to throw the ball across the field right here. So therefore, all of our play calling was before the sticks. Guess what you do on a defensive scheme? You move your players up.
Right.
Guess what you can't do on offense? Get behind them. How many times have we seen a play when you're like, yo, why would you throw the ball right there? And the actual play call was for the ball to go right there. Okay.
You've seen it with two different offensive coordinators right now.
Come on now. I want you to talk back to me.
Going back to Jason Garrett, you know, this offense has not been able to move the football consistently since Pat Shermer was here.
Come on.
You know why?
Pat Shermer was here.
You know why? Because for some reason our offensive line, we can't dictate. We're not good at either the run or the block. You gotta be known for something. You gotta be good at something.
Right.
If you gonna
what
be
do you
arrogant,
do
both of them,
well?
you can't do either
We
one.
show
Right.
up. We put on our pads and our cleats and walk into the field. We do that pretty well. What else do you do well on offense?
So that's my point, gentlemen. What is our identity on offense? Once you know your offensive line can't block for shit, here you go with this trying to get the ball out your hands quick or throw the ball into the flat. That's not winning no more in today's NFL. You have to have an identity. And when you don't have an identity, you have to have that alpha dog that plays above the X's and O's that you can use that's going to get you down the field. My answer to my own question is Odell Beckham. How many times did you see Eli Manning feed that beast to keep us even in games single-handedly when he picked on a weaker cornerback?
Yep. OBJ, man. Shout out to Diella in the chat. Shout out to D-Dan. Shout out to Mosley. Big Dad says, or a blocking scheme that fits the skill set of the offensive line. Good point,
That's
Dash.
what I'm saying, right. They runs zone scheme or whatever, you know, but
is
you
your
gotta be good
scheme?
at something. You gotta be good at either pass block or run block. You gotta be very good at it. If not, it ain't gonna matter.
I feel
what
like
you do.
in 2022, they tried to establish that identity. All right, we're gonna be a run team, RPO heavy run team, and you know, we're gonna chew up clock. And you know, keep your offense off the field, you know, and play sound defense and get timely stops. Last
what
year,
happened?
we made the playoffs.
But what happened?
Last year,
You know where it started from. It was our O-line that started the
Yes, sir.
downfall. The O-line.
Yes, sir.
I mean, we lost
Mhm.
Feliciano. We lost these other guys. Not that they say they was big losses, but now you come to find out when you put these other guys, they don't measure up.
but see,
You know
the
what I'm saying?
Giants fans always want change. That's
Of
how we
course.
are. It's in our DNA. We want whatever's wrong. We want to just change it. You know what I'm
Everything is a
saying?
New York
I'm
minute.
guilty of it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that is the thing. When we lost Feliciano, and I'm gonna tell you, I get on Evan Neal's case frequently, but the kid knows how to move people in the run game. With Neal out and Feliciano gone, we could not run the football.
He was the best pulling guard that we had in John Feliciano. Whenever you saw a big run by Saquon or a run by Breida or a tight end getting up the seam, look where he was on the field when he pulled.
Yeah. And I know I read that.
We need a QB that can legitimately attack all areas of the field. Also, I don't think any defense has really ever been afraid of what DJ could do to them in terms of throwing the football. I mean, look, the Giants don't have a player that anybody's afraid of, whether it be the quarterback, whether it be the wide receiver, whether it be the tight end, you know, the running back. We don't have a player that nobody's scared of on offense. So it's when you have a player like AJ Brown,
Right, you got a
Right.
game plan.
you
Got a game
got to
plan.
Right.
pay attention to them. You have to dictate your coverages towards them. I was watching film and see y'all be thinking I'm playing over here. I be in the film room. I'm watching film of Xavier Legette and from South Carolina. Now, that's
Talk
one of
about
my favorite receivers coming out of this draft. I hope
Right.
the
He's
Giants
top
can
10
get
to
him.
me. He's top 10.
Yeah, I hope they can get him if they go quarterback round 1. But I'm watching Legette and you see the impact that he had where he's playing Clemson and Clemson had to bracket coverage this dude, which was opening up the middle of the field for some of their other players. And it opened up the run game. Because guess what? You can't load the box. You got a 6'3", 230-something pound monster on the outside. You know what I'm saying? That's tearing you know what?
And can run in YG.
And has
Is fast
Yeah.
and he can run.
So
Yeah.
that is the problem. Now, if you want to talk about the quarterback, cool, you know. But even if you have a quarterback, you got to have somebody that's threatening out there on the field. Somebody, at least a guy. Even Pat Mahomes got Travis Kelce. For as bad as his receiving core was, guess what? He still could rely on Kelce. Guess what we can't do? Rely on Darren Waller, broken hamstrings and
Off the
shit
bone.
like this.
But I'm gonna say this too. I mean, your offensive line can be ranked 30 and 31. Like, you know,
Absolutely.
Daniel Jones. Ever since Daniel Jones been, that's where his offensive line has ranked like 30 something. You're not gonna win games with a 30th ranked offensive line because you can't do anything. And then on top of that, you don't have the talent level. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have the talent level and the offensive line is weak, you're not going to show anything. I mean, I was even surprised he threw for 3,200 yards his rookie year with a bad offensive line. And Saquon was out for like, what, most of that season?
He wasn't shell-shocked.
Right.
Those hits add up.
Yeah,
now,
he's been hitting
I'm
a
not
lot.
going to be the one that make excuses for Daniel Jones, but you got to understand when you getting sacked a gazillion times every single season, your internal clock is sped up now. Now you're not even looking down the field. You're looking in front of you to see where's the next hit coming from. It's coming. Which way? Which way?
Exactly.
Hike. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So it ain't to make excuses for the man, but you know, DL has said it perfectly. He's damaged goods mentally, not his physical ability. Daniel Jones has arm strength, mobility. You know what I'm saying? Size, pause, all the things you want in an NFL quarterback today. You know, people love Drake May. Daniel Jones basically has the same makeup as Drake May. Size, even they both went to North Carolina schools. You know what I'm saying? But the difference is, though, Daniel Jones has been playing in the NFL for 5 years now, and he has taken a lot of hits. So that all plays a part in it, you know. But even if you have a good quarterback or a better quarterback, you still need a threat. Now, some people want to say Hyatt can be that. You know, some people think Slayton can be 1,000, 1,500 yard receiver. Whatever your thoughts is, ain't the thoughts in NFL circles, because you see it on the field and how they play our receivers. They don't respect them. You ain't got no respect. Who putting respect on Darius Slayton's name? Hell, the Giants fans drag him every chance they get. So what is the NFL teams thinking? Hyatt, they say he couldn't get on the field. Okay, can you unlock his skill set? Of course. Is he going to be a number one receiver that was picked in the 3rd round? We'll see. I don't know yet. But at this point in time, nobody's afraid of Jalen Hyatt. Wan'Dale Robinson is starting to get a little smidget of respect. That's about it. Darren Waller can't stay on the field. He was supposed to be the number one receiving threat. When we came into the 2023 season, what we all said, oh, yeah, we don't got to worry about because, we got Darren Waller. He is the number one receiver. I said it, and we were wrong. Go get you a damn receiver. Get somebody that can command some respect out there on the field. And if you get that, maybe people will stop laughing at us. Maybe people will start laughing at us.
And then another thing, you ask these questions like, what quarterback would want to switch places with Daniel Jones and see if he's going to have success? Or what Daniel's been play with.
Do you think Josh Allen want to come here and look what they doing to that man in Buffalo? Shit, to be honest, he might have he might have an upgraded receiving core when he come over here. That's how bad it is in Buffalo right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, D-Dan. They're not trading for Josh Allen.
There's too much money. I don't think we even got
it's you got a $47 million elephant in the room. Like, how you gonna have $100 million tied up at the quarterback position? Unless Daniel Jones is going back in that deal, which the Bills ain't having. There ain't no way you're gonna be able to get Josh Allen. Pipe dream. Nice thought, you know what I'm saying? Because hey, who wouldn't want Josh Allen? But it ain't happening. It ain't happening. We weren't wrong. It says team show Hyatt the utmost respect. I mean, they respected his speed. I don't think they respected him as a wide receiver. I mean, yeah, you're gonna respect a guy that can run 4.240. You know what I'm saying? You have your safeties play back, but again, even if Hyatt is a player, and I'm with you, Dash. I do like Hyatt, still don't think he's a number one. You still need another guy, one way or the other. Either way you slice it, And to me personally, I would want more of a physical style receiver, that will fight for 50-50 balls, pause, and in certain situations to help the quarterback out, whoever the quarterback is. You know what I'm saying? Why does our quarterback have to have a pinpoint pass? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. The other ones are inaccurate.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that pass has got to be on point
for
the receiver to get it. I don't see nobody stretching out, diving, jumping. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that these guys can't do it, but that's not their skill set. You know what I'm saying? That's not their skill set. These are speed guys. Yeah, all the guys we got on our real quick, man. Okay, all the guys we got on our team right now are mostly all speed guys. Where is the physicality? That's what's wrong with this Giants team. We can't be a finesse team, y'all, in the NFC East.
Right.
You're gonna get the shit knocked out of you. We gotta have some type of physicality at all.
I want to talk about that. And why? I want to talk about that because that's important, because I think people need to realize the physicality that Jon Runyan Jr. and Jermaine Oluminor brings to the team. Let's talk about physicality, right? We all know what AT is over on the left side. We all know what Evan Neal is actually when it comes to run blocking, right? So now you add in a Jermaine Oluminor who can do both, right? Run and pass block, also pull, finesse to power. He knows how to transition. And then you add a Jon Runyan Jr. who knows exactly how to take power to the finesse game when it comes to schematics. These dudes are both successful in what they've done. They've blocked for Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones. They know the game. And look at the pass yards that Jordan Love was able to throw for with Jon Runyan in the starting lineup on that left side. These guys got the experience already.
Like I said, I just want to see what is this offensive line going to do for us this year. Because if we could finish like in the middle of the pack and this line is good, I just want to see that'll help our offense even more. So I'm just more, to see what the offensive line could do for us this year. If we've really upgraded or not, we'll get to see. And on paper it looks like that, and I think it can, but we have to see when they get on the field.
Right.
And if you can
And
stay healthy,
camaraderie is a big deal. You're right, Cave. You're right, bro.
Right.
exactly.
And Dad says Adunze is a better fit for us than Neighbors.
Yes, indeed.
I starting to believe that to a degree. I still like Neighbors better than Adunze, but Adunze is the type of receiver that we're explaining right here, right now. That physical type of receiver that's going to go up and fight for the football. You know what I'm saying? Like, fight for the football. You know, I don't know how many times me, Coach, Pat, E, Man Cave, we've been on the show plenty of times. We calling games and these receivers ain't fighting for the football. They just
they watching it. They watching get interception. I'm
you
like,
know,
bro,
alligator
fight for it, knock
arms.
it
You know
down,
what I'm
right.
saying? Like, come on, help your quarterback out. You know, but we got to understand this ain't necessarily these guys' skill set. You know, I'm willing to be patient on Jalen Hyatt. I'm with you, Dash.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But I still don't think that's the kid's skill set. You know what I'm saying? Let's not force him to be something he's not. Let's get somebody that complements him. You know, now you have a physical receiver. Say they take Legay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you got a physical guy on the outside. Now you got your speed guy in Hyatt that can take the top off a defense. You got sort of a possession, middle of the field type of guy in Slayton. And then you got Wandale to work the slot. It's going to get your short yardage, your dump offs, your yak. You know what I mean? That's how you build a team. You know, I felt like they was just trying to put a bunch of speed guys on the field. Like, all right, you know, not taking into account route running, getting open, not taking into account, you know, being physical at the line of scrimmage, getting all press man. Like, that's what we talking about when we talking about building a football team. You know, you can't have, you know, two left shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, balance, man. The most physical, Adunze Leggett and younger Jerry Rice. Yeah, I like Brendan Rice too. Brendan Rice is could be a sneaky pick in the later rounds.
I think Keon Coleman is up in there with the physical receivers as well.
Absolutely. Ronnie says it's not just that. We have the front four block and keep them occupied so they can get open and do what they have to do. Yeah. Blocking starts up front. You're never going to come onto my show and hear me say the offensive line don't matter, or, you know, the quarterback can make the offensive, none of that stupid shit. You're not going to hear me say that on this show. The offensive line, it always starts up front. But as we're feeling more confident with our offensive line, now we can start to look at some of these other positions and say, okay, now that we think we got a decent line, it shouldn't be last. You know, now can we start to add some of these pieces and make Brian Daboll's offense work how he wants it to work? I think they wanted to do what they really wanted to do last year, but they couldn't. I think 2022 was them saying, all right, let's just work with what we got. And I think they thought they'd bring in Hyatt and Waller, and I thought they thought they was going to have more of a vertical passing offense. But when you have the 32nd ranked offensive line that gave up 85 sacks, that's you're not going nowhere vertical.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me say this about the offensive line too. And I think that's what the most important thing was. Like, we had the weakest interior line in the NFL. And when you got a weak interior line, that means the quarterback can't step up in the pocket to throw passes. That means he always has to be on the run to throw passes. That's not your strongest throwing on the run. You want to be able to step in that middle. And I think that's why they're trying to show up that interior offensive line. Because if you could do that, now your quarterback can slip in there and then, you know, make some step into some throws and put some zip on the ball, you know, and get it where it's supposed to go. Because if you have a weak interior offensive line, your passing game is going to be weak.
Absolutely. But we're going to get to the last little topic here. Just reading out the comments. And we're going to get up out of here and call it a show here. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is, Coach Dave, why Keon Coleman keeps falling in the draft, man.
It's okay. Let him fall.
Right. Fall right to the Giants.
Let him fall. I'll tell y'all right now, that boy is Plaxico Burress 2.0. Let him fall. Let him fall.
Yeah. Ronnie says, "Are you guys forgetting we have 3 new coaches?
Yeah,
We
new
have to see
scheme.
what they're capable of putting it together." Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Where's Brian Thomas? I think you mean Brian Thomas.
No,
Not
yeah. I think that he Mosley, what's up, by the way? I think that he's going to be going to one of those teams in the latter part of the first round that needs help with the wide receiver. I could
He
see
won't get
somebody.
past Kansas City.
Yeah,
Ain't
yo,
nobody getting past
or the
Kansas City.
Bengals. Where does the
Right.
Bengals pick?
Bengals too.
Big
I think
NYG. Where they picking?
Bengals are 18. I think Bengals 18
He will
Bengals.
not get past the Cincinnati Bengals.
because they got to replace what's his name T Higgins. You know, after
It's
this year.
facts.
Yeah. I think they they do got to replace
But you
T.
see that
Higgins.
this is a wide receiver draft, and that's why the Bills did what they did. You know, trading Diggs, and also so they could restart with the quarterback.
Yep.
I mean, a wide receiver, because there's a rich draft from wide receivers. So
Those are facts.
Wait a minute. Why do the Bengals have to replace T. Higgins? Isn't he still on the roster?
no, I'm talking about after next year or whatever he stays this
He's
year.
franchised.
Because he's
Yeah.
franchised.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying right now.
They've been talking about trading him, but I don't think that's
We're
going to happen.
talking, but what I'm getting at is they could still work out a contract.
But
That's
they
why.
but they got a contract for what's name coming up. Jamar's contract coming up next year, so I don't know if they want to do
Yeah.
both of them.
I don't know how they're going to. I don't know how they're going to pay both either. But yeah. So, all right, let's get back to it. So, last thing I want to talk about here is, we kind of laid out the roster and trying to see what direction this team is moving forward. How confident y'all in the men driving the ship? I mean, Joe Shane and Brian Dable. Because I know a lot of people are nervous about this first round draft pick coming up, and this draft is a very important one for this Giants team and for Dable and for Joe Shane. What's your confidence level? What's your confidence level on a scale from 1 to 10? Let's do it like that. Chat, chime in. On a scale from 1 to 10, what is your confidence level moving forward in Brian Dable and Joe Shane? Do you have confidence in both, neither, one or the other? What's your level of confidence, and how confident do you feel that they're going to get this right and get this team turned around?
I mean, I'm very confident in both. I could give them.
How much job security should they have? Because I've been hearing rumors too that, Mara kind of gave them a out for next year. They take a quarterback or whatever. You're hearing all this noise coming from the organization that he's basically giving them some time, because a lot of people feel like, Brian Dable doesn't have a decent season next year, that he's going to get fired. That's rumors swirling around. You know what I mean? So, but go ahead, man, K, man. Answer the question, man.
Like I said,
I want to lay it out properly.
I give him an 8.5 to a 9. I'm very confident in them, but I think I think this draft right here is going to be what people going to have confidence in Joe Shane, because I want to see what he's going to do and how we're going to go about attacking this draft with only 6 picks in this draft. Because the way I look at it, they could get more picks in this draft too. And like I said, what I think possibly will be the best thing for us is to either move down 1 or 2. And like I said, and between 1 and 2, the thing that have to happen is we need somebody to take an offensive lineman before us, because if you take an offensive lineman before us, that's going to push a team like the Titans or somebody behind that need an offensive lineman to come up to the Giants spot, and the Giants can move back 1 spot and probably pick up a 2nd round pick. You see what I'm saying? So we need something like that to happen, like an offensive lineman to be picked before us, to force another team to try to get us. And the team that's going to be, they're not going to be that far behind us. That's the whole thing. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. D-Dan says 8. Mosley says 6.9. No Diddy. My confidence level is based on Joe Shane in this draft. And Diella says, I don't know, but I'm paying attention to the Commanders with Adam Peters at GM. We could have had him, and that's who I wanted. Interesting, because they were in on Peters. To me, it was between him and Shane. Those were the 2 people that I was looking at for GM. But the one thing I heard about Peters, and we'll see how this carries over with the Commanders, is they're real specific about who they draft to fit their scheme. Like they're like I was told that, you know, they would go to Shanahan and be like, you know, like, okay, I want this, and this player, you know, because based on what we're trying to do scheme wise, schematic wise. Whereas you hear teams like the Giants say, you know, we just want talent, you know, we'll figure out what to do with them, basically. You see what I'm saying? It's two different strategies. The 49ers and where Peters and them come from, they're real scheme specific. They're going to draft the players that fit what they're trying to do, especially on offense. You know, they're not going to take X player and try to make it work. You know, if you don't fit what they're trying to do, they ain't drafting you. And I think that's kind of what it's kind of made them solid, because they know exactly what they want to do. Whereas the Giants, I feel like they still trying to figure it out. You know what I mean? So we can gauge it a little bit here. That's a good comment, Yella. But I'm confident in Joe Schoen. What about you, E?
Shane is not the issue to me. And I'm going to just take a different approach, because the word confident means that I already have to have some type of upside in a situation that I'm thinking positively. After last season, I'm not. People don't want to talk about the wreck that took place with the New York Giants in the front office. So I'm not looking to have confidence in Brian Daboll. I'm looking to see what his recovery is like. Because you started off coach of the year, right? Yay. And then look what happened last year. Once the beef started, you was nowhere to be found. When them bullets got live and you got sent over to Afghanistan, I didn't see you shooting out there. I didn't see you stepping on landmines. You was giving up the position of your cover, your troop. Like, it was just a lot of things that came out about you that probably are who you are dormantly. But the fact that we won hid that from us. But losing exposed that. So now I want to see your recovery. Was it you falsely were good, or you actually are bad? I have a phrase that I say: you either an unlearned asshole or an exceptional one.
Do you think, real quick before I pass it over to Coach, do you think Shane and Daboll are, as they say, you know, locked in together? Basically, if one goes, they both go, or do you think it's more about Joe Schoen building his team, and then the question marks are more on Brian Daboll? And
absolutely,
if things go wrong, you think they're gonna fire Daboll and keep Schoen, or would they both be
absolutely, because of what Schoen has done. Number one, we all know this game is about finances. What he has done financially will not allow him to be gone. You feel me? As long as we can keep money flowing and players that we want and get splash players here impactfully and make us attractive and keep us where we are financially, as long as the books is good, you're good. We can always replace a coach.
Coach, what's your thoughts on that? I know you feel strongly about coaching and coaches. What do you think? Shout out to Ghost, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. Says Daboll started cracking under pressure. So what's your thoughts, man? Question I got on the screen: how much confidence you have in Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll? And how much job security do they have? You know, do they have past next year, or is next year gonna kind of be a test, you know, so to speak? And if you don't pass, it's a fail. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no redo or retest. Or do you feel like they got a little bit of leeway?
Shane ain't going nowhere.
And if Daboll keeps getting high remarks, high grades from players, because everyone talks all this and that about Daboll, but didn't the players rate him highly through the players union, mind you? They rated him highly.
Yeah.
So the players are supporting him. The issue came down to the coaching staff and how he managed the coaching staff. And that's all it was. He's a new head coach. Everybody's all this and that and all in this uproar or whatever. For me, personally, yeah, do I have to, keep an eye on him? Yes. Am I ready to say he got to go? The only way he got to go is if it's a total debacle where, the worst team in the league or something like that.
Mm.
We're sitting here saying, can we compete in the division? If we're out there competing, we're not
Mhm.
getting shellacked, we're competing, and you see certain players develop, Dable ain't going nowhere. He ain't going nowhere.
Right.
And that is just that simple. Ultimately, if the players are out there producing, if they're competing, they're not caving, all right, he'll be here. And we don't have a lot of injuries. So that's the other factor. We can't have a plethora of injuries, because if we have a plethora of injuries, then yeah, Dable's probably getting out of here. Shane may be on the shaky pass, because the injuries fall on the head coach no matter what. Even though some of that could be just luck of the draw, it could be medical, but it still falls on the head coach, because you have to get the other guys to produce. Because as a Knicks fan, what can I say about Tibbs? He's getting the other guys, because we have injuries. He's getting the other guys to produce. So that goes to any sport, or your coaches. If you got injuries, you better make sure the other guys who are there, they're able to step up and produce. And one thing I just want to say to you, because earlier a couple times you said that we have 4 solidified offensive linemen, and you alluded to Jermaine Illuminar. And I wonder if they really brought him in more to back up Evan Neal and be that backup support, or let him compete with Josh Azuda maybe for the right guard spot. I don't think he's a lock to be a starter. He has a very good chance because of his experience and playing under our new offensive line coach. But if Josh Azuda takes that spot, and Evan Neal, for the way I'm looking at it, they want Evan Neal to get the right tackle spot. They're going to give him that shot first before they give it over to Jermaine Illuminar. So Illuminar, to me, he has to, in a sense, battle our third-year offensive lineman for playing time.
Wow.
Me personally, I think they brought
that's
him
unpopular.
They brought him in here to start. That's what I think. They brought him in here to start. Because, I mean, you got to get this line right. I mean, you can't play around and try to put a Zudu or somebody else in there.
I didn't say put him in. See, the thing is, what you're not hearing, I said compete.
Right.
He's going to compete with both of them. So if they both beat him out, he's not starting. So he's not a lock. If he's a lock, then it's his job. Nobody else has it, no matter what. I think he's going to has to compete. Is he probably going to start? Let me just say, yeah, he has the best chance. But if they come in and they play up to their potential, it just strengthens the offensive line. He's a backup, and he's there to back up both tackle spots and the guard spot. He's in the right position. But yeah, you might be right in saying that he's more than likely. If you want to say he's 75, 80%, he has a 75, 80% chance of starting. Yeah, if he beats out the other two. But if they come in and they lock it down, and they've been in this system now for 3 years, going on 3 years. So they know the system. The coaching, the new offensive line is an adjustment, but they know the system. So they have an advantage over him. This is why I say he's going to compete. Now, if he competes and beats them, hey, no problem. It's like everyone else is saying.
Hey, Coach, really quick. I just got one question. I heard you say that they have an advantage over him because they have been here. Didn't we pick up his offensive line coach from the Raiders?
That's gonna be
and how long has he been in this system? I get what you're saying, but they've been in New York. They've been in this offense going on 3 years.
My question
Brasilio
is,
coming
isn't the
in. This
reason
is
why he's here? Okay, go ahead, Cole. That's what I was getting to. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, he's brought in. He should know the system. Illuminor has a good chance because he's playing under his offensive line coach, but that also means that they have a chance to compete. They know this system. Illuminor has an advantage because of his offensive line coach. They have an advantage because they've been here in New York going on 3 years. They know this all. They haven't performed, but they know this offense. They do know this offense, so they have an advantage too there. So the point I'm making it's the competition, and that's all I'm saying. He's not a lock. It's that you didn't hear them say, "Hey, he's our right tackle. Hey, he's our right guard."
Yeah, no, they ain't say.
They ain't say nothing. They've alluded to Jermaine O'Neal. I mean Jermaine. Not Jermaine O'Neal. I'm sorry.
Light skin Jermaine. That's what I call him.
Evan Neal, and they've alluded to Evan Neal being the right tackle, and people have gone crazy. Whatever I've said, I see talent there. I think he's a right tackle.
Right.
And then Illuminor is going to compete. They didn't say he's a right guard. They said he's come in to compete, and that's all any player would want. And that's why I say he's not a lock. That's all I'm getting at.
But I'm just saying, like, after watching them play last year, oh yeah, he beating both of them out. He beating both of them out.
So the coach can't the coach can't help improve their talent either.
What I'm saying is they can know the play all they want, but are they performing on the field? Because when you go on the field, they kick in your butt. That's what counts when they kick in your butt. So my whole thing is, are they gonna go out there and they can know all the plays they want? Are they gonna go out there and kick butt?
But again, they're getting the coaching. This is what I mean by competition. So you guys are making it seem like, oh, neither one of them or Illuminor is starting, period, case closed, and Azudo doesn't have a chance. Or no, what I'm saying is all three of them are going to compete for a chance to play. Illuminor is not a lot.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Coach, I'm gonna just say this. I agree with you wholeheartedly. They are going to compete. Mm-hmm. I'm with you. Standing right next to you like I did when I saw you live and in person. Mm-hmm. But there is going to also be a process of elimination. And I am going to stand right with Man Cave and let it be known. When this man touches the football field, it's either two things that's going to keep him from starting. The fact that he was such a high draft pick, so we have to give him a chance, or somebody knows some secret information, and that's the reason why he just won't be starting. There is no way in anybody's name that Evan Neal is a better technician at this point than Jermaine Illuminor at right tackle. He has to take the massive jump that we all think he should be taking in order to be starting at that position. Because if we go down the line of skills alone, and you know this, Big OG, he is not even in the building with him right now.
And another thing, Evan Neal's know all the plays, but when he was out there in the field, he was getting whooped. He didn't know the plays.
We also had a different offense. We also had a different offensive line teaching a different technique. Like everyone is sitting here and saying, okay, based off of last year. Well, he has a new offensive line coach who's probably going to teach him something different, and that may help him, and that may help Josh Azudu also. So what I'm getting at is it's a competition. I'm just saying, for me, it's not a guarantee that JE is going to start. It's just not right now.
Okay, so I'd have one question for you only, Coach. Mm-hmm. I'm with you with competition. You know that. Mm-hmm. But if you had to start a right tackle tonight, the game is 8 p.m. tonight. Mm-hmm. Would it be Jermaine Illuminor or would it be Evan Neal based off technique, skill set, and everything that they do well?
It's what I see with the right coach, and it's gonna be Neal.
You know I'm talking about you, right? You know I'm talking about you, and I see how you try to sidestep.
I ain't trying to see, but see, you know better than that. You know better than that. Coaching plays a part in these kind.
I know, but I'm asking you.
I'm talking about skill. See, but you said skill.
Who would you start?
Evan Neal has better skills than Illuminor.
What?
Illuminor has just produced. See, you said skill. You're talking about the skill set. This man at
Right
6'7",
now, you mean
300.
skill or potential, coach?
No,
Potential
you
and
said
skill.
skill. You
Skills,
said
Skills
yeah.
right
skill.
now, yeah.
Athletic skills. I'm talking about.
I
And see,
disagree.
I didn't talk about technique. I'm not talking about technique. I'm talking about athleticism, the skill set. I'm looking at Evan Neal and I see something there. I just do. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I've
so
looked
my
at a
question is,
little.
tell us what Evan Neal does better than Jermaine Illuminal.
Right.
You're missing my point. You guys are really.
Coach, don't do it.
No. Don't do that. You're disregarding what I'm talking about. I'm talking about skill. I'm not talking about going out on the field. Has Evan Neal produced to the level of Illuminor in the NFL? No, I'm not. I'm not stupid now. I'm not stupid. But what I'm saying is the skill, the athleticism. I've watched that man. Not Jermaine. Damn it. Evan Neal. What locked me in is when that man jumped up and did a fucking split on whatever platform they had for him. You can't do that's a skill. That's athleticism. I'm sorry. I don't see
Has
that
it translated to the field?
But okay, that's a different story, which goes into what I'm saying about, because right now I'm putting a lot of pressure, to be honest with you, on our new offensive line coach.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I'm putting the pressure on him to get something out of him. Now, if it doesn't, you have a guy who's played under you and you know what he could do. Now you can slide him in at right tackle. Okay. But if we're talking about the athletic skill set and a young player who's played a little over 20 games in the NFL and everybody is ready to just bury him and kick rocks with him, after a year and a half, 2 years.
Nah. See, Coach, I want to make sure that I'm clear.
Any favors either, Coach?
Right. I just want to make it clear, Coach. I'm not going to bring up his life and then Illuminor's life and do a comparative. I'm talking about skills, technique, and tonight at 8 p.m. we have a game. Who would you start at right tackle?
In skills, it's going to be Evan Neal. In technique, it has to be Illuminor because of the experience.
So you starting Evan Illuminor?
I'm starting Evan Neal at right tackle. If I have to start Illuminor, he's going to be at right guard. I'll do that.
See, the problem with Evan Neal is like he has a lot of weight on his other guy, and he gets
I've said it.
How do you get overpowered? You got to know how to use your.
He doesn't get overpowered. See, everyone thinks overpowered, and he ends up on his back. He gets down, or he's off balance and he falls on his face. No one puts him on his back.
He gets walked back.
He maybe got put on his back once. He does not consistently get walked back. See, people look at
he gets beat around the edge a lot.
He gets beat around more of the edge, which is what Ronnie and what I have been saying.
Yeah,
Ronnie needs to lose some weight because they list him at 240. That man is 360.
Right.
He needs to get down to about 325, 320 to handle the speed rusher. That's
I just need to confess real quick.
Coach, real quick, I just want to ask Coach a question. Are we not concerned about him and Zudu's injury history?
Zudu come back from an injury from last year, so
that's 2 injuries twice in a row.
And what was it? NYG, he had a neck injury, and what else?
What was it? I think a lower body injury.
I don't worry about injuries. Sorry, guys. I don't worry about injuries because of one simple fact.
You have to.
No, I don't. I don't. Because if the medicals tell me they're clear, then I trust the medicals. If I don't trust the medicals, then they shouldn't be there.
Please don't trust Ronnie Barnes, and I'm asking you not to do that. I'm asking you to do that.
That's you.
Please don't trust Ronnie Barnes.
That's you. I've watched this man since the 80s. I've watched this man since the 80s.
For some reason, he is regarded as one of the better. I don't know.
Okay, so hold on.
And we're the most.
Either it's the field that's the problem with the injuries, or no, because now if you're talking about Ronnie Barnes, then you got to talk about strength and conditioning. You know better than that, E. That goes into it.
I know strength, attrition, right? Focus. Core, core exercises, pyrometric. But I'm gonna say this right now. Why is it that the injuries are actually worse than what they're reported as, but we always find out later on how bad they truly were?
Right.
Okay, you don't put out your if it's like playing poker. You don't tell them what's in your hand.
Yeah, they be high.
Well, guess what? You're
I'm
hurting
sorry,
the players by rushing them back on the field and having them re-aggravate injuries while they're on the
So
field.
then you have a problem with the medical system. That includes the doctors. See, everyone's putting it all on Ronnie Barnes.
Nah, I just know he's been
And
there very long.
okay.
Sports and science has changed, and I think he doesn't read charts the same way.
Well,
How old
what
is
about
Ronnie
the-
Barnes?
What about the doctors then, E? Because it's also the doctors that are involved in this. That's what I'm
Right,
saying.
and I
You're
believe
putting everything on it.
I give it across
Fire
the
them
board,
too.
Pauls, evenly. All of them, everybody.
Okay.
What Moses said. What Moses said.
So again, which
Nurses.
goes to what I said. Either you trust the medicals or you don't. And if you don't trust the medicals, they shouldn't be here. For me,
I don't. And let me tell you, Coach.
And E, that's cool. That's you.
Right.
I'm saying
But let me tell you why. Because we all feel this burn of players being rushed back earlier than they should be.
Okay.
We've all experienced that. And also, Coach, let me tell you something that I know about you that I'm gonna share with the panel. You have an eye for injuries that you don't talk about very often because you can see where a weakness is on someone and say he's a little bit hampered. He's a little bit limber. He came up a little bit, and we've done games together. So I've caught that analytical skill about how you look at the medicals and the injuries even before they hit, because right after that, a player's taken out the game.
Mhm.
So I ask you these questions in a little bit more deep of an analysis, an in-depth way with you. So they're not surface for me because I've experienced with you a season of watching players get injured and you didn't even want them back on the field. Am I right?
True. No, of course, if a player
Okay.
is injured, if they're injured, I don't want a player out there. If they're hurt, yo, bro, suck that shit up. Get out there and play.
Right.
We've all been there.
Right. And how many times
Give
though
him the
have
damn
we rushed a
ball!
player back? How many
Give
times
him
have we
the-
rushed a
oh
player
my
back?
God,
And it cost us.
stupidity.
I just would like for us to definitely look into our medical staff. That's just me. Do you guys agree with me, or I'm just talking
I
crazy?
totally agree. I totally agree, man. This team been injured been the most injured team for so many years. Now it's something has to be done. You know what I'm saying? At least get it to where
But
it's
see,
manageable.
no.
We always have the most injuries. So it's a couple things. You're either taking a risk on players with previous injuries, or it's the field, or it's the medical staff.
Mm.
And that's my whole thing. There's so many different layers to this that we can't just say it's Ronnie Barnes' fault.
Yeah, something got to be done, though.
And that's where it goes. As a coach, I'm talking strictly from a coach. I have to trust the medicals to tell me what I need to do to let my players go out there perform. The medicals technically are taking that responsibility away from the coaches, because as coaches, are you injured or are you hurt? Oh, you hurt? Get your ass back out there.
Right.
I'm going to be honest with you. Just like we have to take it away from the players, because the players are going to be like, I want to go out and play. And they damn well shouldn't be out there. So it's a catch-22. Yes, I look at the totality of everything. Sometimes I compartmentalize certain things, but in this instance, nah, because we complained about the field. They've taken research, and players have complained about the field at MetLife. So, and that's not just the Giants, that's across the league. So if that's the case, that's why for me it's like, all right, I'm giving the medicals some type of leeway, because right now the problem to me is the field. It's always been the field. That's all we ever talked about. Ever since we've gone to MetLife, this field has been horrible. Other fields and other facilities, their fields are very good. They're safe. They're this, they're that. But you come to MetLife, and we paid XYZ amount of money for a garbage can with the mat that you put in front of your damn door. That's really what you got. And if that's the issue, then how is it totally Ronnie Barnes' fault? Now, can he play a part in this situation? Yeah, sure. Can he misdiagnose? Yeah, sure he can. Just like the doctors can. They all can. I'm not putting that all on the medicals. As a coach, if they're in that position, they're hired there, I'm going to ask them their professional opinion. Then I make my decision based off of that.
Mosley
I'm gonna tell
said,
you how it goes, Coach. You ready?
Hold
You
on,
got
real quick. Mosley
okay.
says he been inside the medical room at MetLife. Says trash. Worked security there for years. So there you go.
And that's the sad part. We
Okay.
just built that stadium.
Yeah, the stadium itself is just terrible overall.
But it's supposed to be going to
It's not
grass.
a good stadium.
It's supposed to be going to grass because of that. What's that? The World Cup or something in a couple of years.
They charge out the wahoo for them tickets too, man. John Mara. You see, that's why I be on John Mara because I had to pay $300-400 to go to that damn stadium. Not only are you putting a bad product out on the field, but your stadium stinks. It's one of the
You putting the
worst in
bad
NFL.
product under. You putting the bad product under the field.
Thank you. Do better, bro. That's
But here's
all
the
we
thing,
asking.
but that's two owners. That's two billionaires. That own.
Yeah, I can't
Three.
speak on the Jets.
Yeah.
owners.
It's 3 owners involved in this, though.
Okay,
but-
so let me give you guys a little history of something that I spoke to an actual field doctor on the show a couple of years ago, right? That we had on the Shakedown. And one of the questions that I asked him was, what exactly goes into preparation for a field like MetLife where they are complaining about it so bad? And the greatest answer that he could give, he said, because they're not getting enough time to prepare. Normally, it takes about 72 hours to have a field prepared, but MetLife has so many back-to-back events that they're not able to switch out certain things, maintenance properly, see what the cosmetics is like. So therefore, you're just playing on a tarnished situation. He said there's stuff underneath the field. There's holes, there's dents, there's erosion. There's a lot of stuff that takes place corrosively under the field that needs to be maintained when you slap that turf over it. So it doesn't get enough maintenance time.
Look at the Cardinals. The Cardinals get grass into their stadium every different, for different events. The Giants should have did that too if you were a grass field to have it wheeled
All
in
that
there.
damn money that they make, a hot dog is $30.
And why are we sharing a stadium with the goddamn Jets? Why?
That's why it's the corrosion. That's where the corrosion is.
Right.
Yeah, the corrosion's the Jets.
Here's the thing, though. See, because now you're forgetting when they played out in Shea Stadium. Why did they leave that? Why did they leave Queens to come to Jersey? Because of the money. Mm-hmm. Because in New York, you're paying a lot more in taxes, especially as a professional sports team. And the Jets were not bringing in money like that. Mm-hmm. So they saw the opportunity.
The Jets can't move somewhere else in Jersey. Jersey's a pretty decent state. I mean, you ain't gotta go back to New York. Let's get the fuck out of
And do you know this, NYG, that 95% of the Giants players move and stay in New Jersey when they get here, because if they move to New York City, they're double taxed.
See what I'm saying?
But no, NYG, there's nowhere else in Jersey that they can go to honestly play, because you can't go south because of the Eagles. Because of the Eagles. You're not going to Central Jersey because of Rutgers. I'm going to be honest with you. You might say, well, they should be able to do it. You can't build another stadium. This is what I'm talking about. So the only place logically to build it would be South Jersey, because you also have to look at tax breaks. The state is going to get involved, which is why they wanted them up in the Meadowlands. So no, there's no other. New Jersey is still a small state in terms of
coaches don't want
to. I know Jersey. I know all this stuff. So lived here 50 years. Trust me.
I just want to show my face real quick to the people because I'm on my way to get Ronnie Barnes.
but I'm gonna tell you, but you look at all these other stadiums, man. All these brand new stadiums are like state of the art. How do we get a bad stadium with two owners?
Yeah, just do better, man. Do better.
I mean,
developers, man, Cave, it's simple. You have to have a certain architectural development plan for a place that you are going to be placed in. When you have money, it most of the time, it overlooks the infrastructure. MetLife has one of the worst infrastructures that you could possibly ever think about. But you know what he did think about? If we can put more seats, that will bring us more money. And that's the only thing MetLife has, is a capacity wherewithal. It has a capacity setting, but it is horribly built, it is horribly placed, and it is horrible as a stadium.
And what we were told the reason they wanted an open stadium was because they want the natural field, the natural grass, and we didn't even get that. So what was the point of having an open stadium?
What is the point then?
You should have built a dome stadium that could open up and close. You know what I'm saying?
Retractable, exactly. That we all know, we all agree with that. I said the same thing because it's retractable. Number one, if you want to talk business, you want to talk about getting more people in. That also gives you Super Bowls. New York City not getting a Super Bowl is a travesty.
Yeah, yes, we got one.
I hold that on the Jets and the Giants because you should have put in a retractable roof. If you do that, you get Super Bowls, period. Then that's money you're going to get. That's money for this area because when it'll get busy and prices will go up, but you'll still get people flying in like crazy. So yes, that's what I agree with y'all. That stadium, and you just said something. There's holes underneath. Come on, man. You are an NFL franchise. You can't get that problem right. And we're talking about issues with the field. We're talking about injuries. You're showing me as a fan, you don't really give two shits about the fans. You don't give two shits about the players. You only give a crap about your pockets. That's it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying you shouldn't care about your pockets, but you should care about the product that you put on the field.
Let's not act like they don't have the money.
Yeah,
and they two owners. That's the thing. Two owners, not one. Two.
No, right. I'm talking three owners. Whenever I talk about this, I'm talking about Johnson, Tish, and Marin.
Okay.
Tish has his. Tish has his.
Three of them, they got the bread.
They got money.
I mean, you look at SoFi Stadium, you look at Regent Stadium, you look at all these stadiums. Like, man, look at that. Look at the Titans about to build a new stadium. Theirs is going to be state of the art.
And that's why it boggles my mind when we got MetLife, and it was just like, well, first of all, who did your layout? Yeah,
design.
I mean, who the hell? Because I would have looked at that, and the first thing I would have been like, "What are you, Oscar the Grouch? You trying to live in a damn garbage can?
You're right.
Are we Sesame Street or something?"
Big ass.
And now let's talk about the other aspect because you're talking about heavily used between concerts, but let's not forget high school football is also played there, and I have an issue with that because now you're putting the lives of these young kids on the line, and you don't fix the issues with that stadium. And then we're talking about we're heavily injury prone. That's where my issue is. It's not the doctors, it's not the medicals. They're hired by the owners. They're gonna not be direct yes men, but they're gonna say, well, you can do this, you can do that, and they're gonna take profits over the benefit, the well-being of everybody.
And you thought they wasn't even thinking about it. If you could build a retractable stadium, you could have had things year round going on in there, year round, making so much money. You know what I'm saying? Look at SoFi, look at Allegiant Stadium, all these other stadiums, man. I mean, they look great. They could do multiple things. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, fellas, I just want to tell you guys, I love you, man. Happy blessed Sunday to everybody. Thank you so much for allowing me to join the panel and chop it up with you guys. Y'all know how much I love y'all brothers. Man Cave, it was more than a pleasure, brother, to sit down and chop it up with you today, bro. Coach, I love you. And everybody, please let Coach Ed. Coach Ed is here, you guys. Say what's up.
Coach Ed.
Hey, gang, how y'all doing? I miss seeing you guys. Hope y'all out there working hard, man.
Yes.
See, your first lie to your coach. Ain't nobody working nothing. Let's get that out there. It's been raining and ain't nobody been outside, coach. See what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I'm taking them out to the movies after church, so you know what time it is. I love you, brothers, again, and thanks again, NYG, for allowing me to be on the panel, bro. Y'all know what's up. Y'all know what's up.
You already know, bro. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Yes, sir, man. Yeah, but we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna close out here, man. But I'm with you.
All right, Randy. I see you. I love you too.
Next
bro.
shift, man. Appreciate you, man. Hope you're doing all right next shift, man. I hope everything's good. Hope you're feeling better, brother. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna have to get up and do some content too, next shift, man. I'm gonna need you to come on Heart of the City, man. I know we've been trying to work that out for a long time now, but most definitely we're gonna work that out, man. Definitely need to and I want to hear your thoughts on the Rangers too, man. You know what I'm saying? The New York Rangers, bro. New York Rangers, bro. Yeah, I ain't forgot. Number one team. I gotta brag on something. The Giants is in the shitter. The Nets is under the shitter.
He's like, I gotta brag on something.
You know what I'm saying? All I got is the Rangers and the Yankees. Thankfully, looking all right so far. So far, so good. I'm gonna pump the brakes. You almost blew it last night. Had me ready to flip. Like, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, definitely, man. We talk about all that Tuesday nights, Heart of the City. Be there if you want to talk New York sports, man, whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, football, women's sports, NCAA. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get back into our coaches segment, man, where we talk about music, food, entertainment, all that stuff, man. So check that out. Tuesday night, Heart of the City, man. And of course, you know, catch me on Giants Conversations every Sunday. I'm gonna try to do this show every Sunday leading up to the draft. And of course, we will be at the draft. So don't forget about that. Me, Lou, Pat, the whole Big Blue crew. You going, right, man, Cave?
I'll be there. I'm gonna get information on that time when I catch up with you guys, man. Because I'm staying downtown. I'm staying at the
okay, cool. Yeah, we definitely gonna meet up with you, man. I got your phone number. Okay. So yeah, man, definitely appreciate everybody, man. But tell the people where they can find you at, man, Cave. Before we close out.
You can find me on Twitter at the Man Cave _ Scott, you know, on Twitter, and then also on my show, The Man Cave. That's the man with one word, and then _Cave podcast. You can find me on there.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, man. Dope stuff, good content, man. Go sub to Man Cave, man. He's our brother, you know what I'm saying? Been with us, been rocking with us for a minute now. So, you know, I definitely appreciate each and every time you get to join me on this show. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to come over and bless you with the same. You know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to do something probably with another week or 2 weeks before the draft so that we can have a draft talk special before we meet up and all that stuff and all that.
Okay.
So,
all right. That'll be dope. That'll be dope. Hell yeah. Coach, what you got going on, man? Tell people they can find you at and what you got coming up.
All right. I'm sorry. Yo, she's stupid. What I got going on, you know, Heart of the City every Tuesday. So I'm definitely there. And Wednesdays, do the Pick and Roll podcast where we also talk basketball. A lot going on, especially, you know, with the NCAAs. Shout out to everyone who's tapped into the women. I mean, UConn and Iowa 14.2. 14 point. This tells me women's sports is definitely on the uprise. A lot of it, I will say, is Caitlin Clark. She's a draw. So, you know, it's a good thing. But yeah, I love talking basketball. You know, doesn't matter. You know, college. Definitely want to see the battle of the big men on Monday, old school style. Yeah. Old school, 2 back to the basket type of centers, 7'2" and taller, man. This is what I'm talking about. Basketball should be, but that's another story.
The big man is back, baby. We're gonna talk about that Tuesday, man. I've been telling y'all that the big man is back in basketball.
Both of them, their projections are the UConn center might go 7, where Edie might go anywhere at the bottom end of the first now. So it's like, okay, he's definitely stepped it up. So, but I like that. You know, like I said, you know, talking women's basketball. You know, Wednesday, you know, that's what we do. And I might have a special announcement. I'm just waiting for a reply back for something on Friday night. So we'll see.
All right.
See, I'm trying to get out there and let's go Rutgers. Come on, Max. See if you can get up there into the first round, bro. See if you can get up into the first round repping RU, baby.
He's on the edge of it. He is. He's right there, man.
I really want him on my Giants, but I don't think he's gonna make it there. I don't think he's gonna make it. So,
Coach, of course, referring to Max Melton, cornerback out of Rutgers, man. Projected early second, maybe late first. Now I don't know.
It's late first, second, and definitely no further.
He wasn't like the third or fourth though, but he's definitely boosted his stock up. Definitely now.
Yes,
I can see him. I can't see him getting out the second round now.
Definitely.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
as long as he doesn't go to the damn Dirty Birds, man.
Oh.
I had to mess with Randy. You know I had to mess with Randy. Being an Eagles fan, that's my bro. Though I love him though.
Shout out to Next Shift, man. Always appreciate you, man. Yeah, Milton is a dog, man. Like Max Melton, man. And Rutgers is on the come up, man. Rutgers is on the come up. You know, coach talks a lot of Rutgers on Heart of the City, man. So definitely be there. Get some of Rutgers, Syracuse, you know, both on the men's
Shout
and
out to
women's
Seton
side.
Hall. I'll talk about it
Seton
too
Hall,
on Tuesday.
yeah.
Win the NIT championship. So congrats to them. So I got to shout out Jersey. Do it right. But
I'm looking for St. John's to. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk more on Tuesday. Trust me.
Man. I don't want to get ahead of myself.
I got stuff that I'm already working on. So,
all right, bet that, man. But appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna get up out of here. I know the women's tournament's coming on a little bit later here.
Sure.
So you're doing the stream, right?
Yeah, I'm starting at 2:45.
Okay.
So the pregame, do a little pregame, and then get right into the game. So I'm really excited for it, baby.
Definitely,
man. Coach, I mean, I know you want to do a stream, but what's going to be? What do you think going to win? What's going to be the score? How do you feel?
Right now, I mean, USC just has too much, man. They are a complete team. Even though Caitlin, if she can get going, she's going to be the big factor. I mean, if she can put a 40-point on them, it might. And then my girl Maggie Marshall. I love me some Maggie Marshall. Not just because she's gorgeous, no, but she's that little grindy, that little. She'll do everything. The other day, she was guarding Paige all game long, and she was all up in her grill. Even if Paige was scoring, she was right there on her hips. So definitely like her. And then Stuckey, the center, that young girl. I mean, she's only a sophomore, but I mean, they can develop something. But man, Camilla Cardoso, come on, man, 6'7". 6'7", and then I mean the way Dawn has that team constructed, they can attack the paint, they can hit the threes, they can go inside out, they play good defense, they're gritty, they're tough. You know, if you go into South Carolina, you fundamentally are sound in terms of playing basketball. So South Carolina I think is going to win, and I think I could easily see them winning by 15 to 20 points, but if Caitlin Clark gets going, then it could probably say in the single digits, and Iowa might have a chance. So, but I think it's going to be Carolina.
Yeah, I'm going with SC too.
I think I'm going with Iowa with the upset, man. Yeah. They beat this team last year.
Even though it all makes sense for her to go out, with a championship, because that's what she's been missing. So I could definitely see a scenario where, she finally gets over the hump and gets it
She's
done.
America's darling. So, and I mean, the thing is the impact that these women are having on the young girls. As a girl dad, as a granddad, girl dad, I just love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
but we're gonna get up out of here, man. Appreciate everybody for stopping by, man. And we're gonna close it out, man. But definitely, man, you know what I'm saying? Bring all your unpopular opinions here, all your Giants unpopular opinions, all your New York unpopular opinions. I want to have more guests on the show. I want to kind of open it up to like Q&As and different things like that. So I got some things planned for everybody, man, for you guys. But the biggest thing you could do is just like, share, and subscribe, because the more I grow, the more I'm gonna grow the show. You know what I'm saying? That goes for Coach too. So, the bigger we grow, the bigger this show can be. You know what I'm saying? We all have bright minds, and we got a lot of content. You know what I'm saying? We just need the viewership and obviously down the road to get monetized. So that being said, man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. And until next time, y'all know what it is. Peace.
time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No brakes, green light. No brakes, I got the green light. When you hit ons, know it's game time. And you know me and my bros on the same time. No brakes, green light. No brakes, I got the green. We gon' tear it down, tear it down, tear it down, yeah. We ain't going out, we ain't going into town, no. Money ain't the mission, no, we coming for the crown, yeah, yeah.